This is Mike with CSTactical.com. Thank you for joining us again. Today I'm going to talk about the USO Mst-100. The Mst-100 that I hold in my hands was built by US Optics. The person that actually designed this scope was John Yernerdle in the 1970s. John Yernerdle developed the Yernerdle Company in 1934 in Pennsylvania. This Mst-100 was specifically designed for the US Marine Corps on their M40A1 rifle shooting the M118 LR round. The MLR-188 round is a .308 cartridge that was designed specifically for the military. As you can see on this turret here, each line has a number next to it to imply what yardage that it's designed for, or that you're at. For every time you click it, you're going up into 100-yard increments. Down on the bottom side, this turret down here is called the vernier elevation knob. This is designed to basically lower up and down every half minute, so allowing you having 3 minutes for the top and to the bottom. On the side, you have a half-minute windage turret. Each turret has a zero-stop feature to it. This knob right over here has a little set screw that is for the wind stop. You also have one for the elevation. This ring right here focuses the reticle. This is the locking ring. Simply just loosen it up, adjust this area to adjust the reticle in the scope. Once you're done, lock it down, turn it back into place, locking it down, and it will hold it in focus. The Mst-100 has a 1-inch tube diameter. It was originally designed to fit into this specific Mst-100 mount. That's also a 1-inch tube diameter. Originally, the Yernerdle scope was a leaf spring. When the US Marine Corps went to the M40A3 rifle, they were having issues with it zeroing because of the fact due to the leaf spring inside of it. That's when USO came up with an idea to create a different erector spring system, and that's what this is down in here. On the Yernerdle, you will not find this specific erector system in it. This will allow the Mst-100 now to be mounted to a base that has MOA. This is the front objective of the Mst-100. The front objective allows you to adjust for your parallax of the scope. You can set the parallax at any distance that you'd like. Typically, it was set for 200 to maybe even 300 yards. Once it's set, you pretty much want to leave it alone because there is a risk of it shifting the impact once you readjust this. How this works is that you're going to use this tool to loosen up. There's little slots in the very front. You're going to slide it in there, and you're going to loosen up this ring right here, and it's going to now back this off. This is your locking ring, and once you adjust it with this tool, you're going to set the parallax using it, and now you're going to take this ring back here, holding it in place and locking it down back into place. And that is how you would adjust your parallax for this specific scope. The Marine Corps Mst-100 was made specifically for one thing: durability, reliability. A lot of people maybe not even know that this tube and the housing and everything about this scope is made of steel, not the typical aluminum that you find out there. So this scope weighs quite a bit, even though it's a small little scope. US Optics came out with the Mst-100 to the public for a limited time over the course of a few years. So there's only a few of these out there. This is a great scope. It's robust. It's a classic. It's something that any shooter would love to have that's of a collector. The problem is that there's very few of them out there, and they're very expensive. This particular one will range from $3,000. You know, maybe you're able to find one for $27,000 if you're lucky, but most of the time you're going to find them for around $3,000. If you were one of the very few lucky people to have an Mst-100 that was made by John Yernerdle that has USMC stamped on it, which is very rare to find, you're even talking maybe even the $10,000 range. Like I said, the Mst-100 would be a great scope for a lot of the collectors of vintage firearms, such as this is an original Marine Corps M40A1 return stock that was built to spec. But the fact of the matter is that I really can't afford to have an Mst-100. I'd love to have one, but I couldn't afford it. So I mounted a USO Cst St-10 onto my M40A1 just to kind of give it that retro feel. I want to still have the feel of this Mst-100, but I want to have something that's going to perform to today's standards, because the Mst-100, even though it was state of the art of its time, kind of falls short for the standards of today. So I want something that would be still competitive, but still have that feel of the Mst-100. Let's talk about the USO Cst St-10. We're going to kind of go over the features of this scope and why I feel like this scope would be a good substitute for the Mst-100. The rear eyepiece is used to focus the reticle nice and tight, and you just rotate it in and out until you get it where you want that reticle to be nice and crisp for you. Once you're done with it, you let go of it and it stays nice and solid. This scope has a 30mm diameter tube, allowing you to have more elevation to be able to reach out real far. There are two primary turrets that we stock for the St-10. The one you see here is a half-minute erect knob that has 45 minutes in one rev, allowing the shooter to be able to reach out well past 1,000 yards for a 308. The other turret that we stock is the 10th mil rad erect knob that has 9 mils in one rev. On the windage, it is covered by a protective cover so that you cannot accidentally bump it and damage it or move it. It's also designed for when you get it in the MOA version, it's going to be a 1/4 MOA windage, and for the mil version, it's going to be 10th mil for the windage. And this turret is called the number 1. As you can see, our name CS Tactical is on the bottom of this bell. I originally named it the CSGW St-10, but since we had a name change, we decided to name it the CST St-10. I'm really proud of this scope because of the fact that I saw it from its infancy at the beginning stages to develop to this great, fantastic 10 power scope that you see before you right now. For any more questions, go to our forum at cstactical.com. I don't freaking, a hamburger. Just a plain hamburger.